Hey guys, I'm Bob, and today I'm going to be reviewing this Cosori Original Electric Gooseneck Kettle. It is model 𝐂108-NK. And I do have an unboxing video that you can watch, which I did about 6 months ago, so I've been using it for 6 months. And I use it twice a day to heat up water for my pour-over coffee. My daughter uses it to heat up her tea every morning. So it's used on a regular basis. So today I'm going to go over the features of this particular kettle. I'm going to heat up some water to show you how quickly the water heats up. And I'm also going to make some pour-over coffee so you can see how I use it in action. So let's get started. So the unit itself comes in two pieces. There's the bottom portion, which does the heating and has the controls. And there's the kettle portion, which is basically just has a top. There's plastic here for the top if you want to take off the top. There are steam vents to let the steam escape. And there's a plastic handle as well. But the rest of this particular kettle is stainless steel, which so you don't have to deal with any plastic pieces that are going to get heated up or degrade over time, which is one of the reasons I purchased this particular model. There are others in its class that have some plastic within the kettle itself, and those, from what I have read, degrade over time. So this one is totally stainless steel. As you can see inside, there is a maximum capacity kind of a notch in here that says max. See if you can see that. Probably can't, but it says max, and it's about 26 ounces of water. So I can make roughly 2 12-ounce mugs of coffee when I use my pour-over kettle, this particular one. So if you had a situation where you need to make more than that, then you just have to use it twice, which I've done on many occasions. But it's my wife and I make coffee every morning for both of us, and it's perfect for our needs. So that's the top portion. The bottom coil here, it connects to the bottom portion to heat up the water. Now what I'd like to do is talk about the actual base. Now the base itself has a cord that wraps inside the unit. This goes out to 39 inches. I'm not going to take it out now, but I did measure it earlier. It's 39 inches. So if you needed to have it reach some plug that's further away in your kitchen, then I think that's pretty good. It's a little bit over 3 feet. So, but what's also nice is that it will wrap in to the base, so you don't have all this excess cord hanging out if you don't need it. So here there's an on-off switch. There's settings for all different types of liquids. This is for white tea. It's 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Green tea, 180. These are the kind of recommended temperatures for these types of teas. His oolong tea, which is a Chinese tea, it's 195 degrees Fahrenheit. This is coffee, but this is pour-over coffee, which is what I use. So I always use this setting, and I'll show you how I do that in a little bit. And this is just for boiling for black tea. And then this is a hold temperature button. So if you wanted to just heat up the water, say I wanted to heat it up at 205 and go in the other room or whatever, I would hit the hold temp, and it would maintain that temperature. As soon as it hit the 205, it'll just keep it at 205, and it will keep it at 205 for 60 minutes. So that's plenty. That's certainly enough time if you needed to go outside, start the car or whatever, and come back in the house. So now what I'd like to do is show you how this unit works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a maximum capacity which is about 26 ounces. I'm going to add it up to the max line, which is right in here, and then we're going to heat it up, and I'm going to set it at the 205 and the whole temp, and we'll see how long it takes to actually get to 205. I'm going to use a timer. I have a timer right here, and we'll see how long it takes to get there. I've already done some tests. It's roughly 5 minutes. I'll fast forward through this portion so you guys don't have to sit there and watch the whole 5 minutes. So let me go fill this up, and then I'll put it back on and start up the unit. Okay, so I just filled it up to the max line, and the max line is roughly almost exactly 2 inches down from the top. So that's it just allows for if you're going to boil anything so it doesn't boil over or anything like that. It's just a safety precaution. And what's nice is that, as I said, it does have steam vents in the top, and so you just basically push the top down. You can adjust the tightness of the top if you want. You have that capability, but when it came to us, it was perfect as far as I'm concerned. As I mentioned, I do love the gooseneck spout capability, because that helps me actually target my pour over coffee, as you'll see later. So I'm just going to put it on the base, and over here there's an on button, which is right over here, and I'm going to hit the coffee, which is 205, and then the whole temp at the same time. So I'm going to hit the on off, I'm going to hit the coffee, and everything lights up when you hit it, and I'm going to hit the whole temp. So it's starting now, and I'm going to hit the start on my timer. So let's see how long this takes to heat up to 205. And when it hits 205, it actually beeps 3 times. And you can adjust that to have it not beep, but I don't think there's any reason to do that, because it's not a loud beep. In fact, I think it could be a little louder. So let's wait and see how long this takes to beep. Okay, if you just heard, it was just 3 beeps, and it was right at 550. So I'll just stop this now, but it was at 550. So almost 6 minutes to get it to 205. I did use cold water when I started. If you use hot water or warmer water, it'll take closer to 5 minutes instead of 6 minutes. So now what I'd like to do is show you how I would then make pour over coffee. And one thing that's great about this, it'll hold the temp, since I hit the whole temp button, and everything is still lit up. Now if you happen to leave the room and you didn't hear the 3 beeps, you might not know whether it's to temp or not. Now the way you can figure that out is if you hit this whole temp button down and all the lights go out, that means it hit temperature. So I'm going to do that and show you. So everything went out. And I put it back on, and the beeps occur again because it's at that temperature. So I'd like to show you now how I make pour over coffee with this kettle. All it is a pour over coffee dripper. This is ceramic. It has a hole at the bottom, and I'm just going to, I always use a digital scale so I know exactly how much water I'm pouring in. So I'm going to put this on here, and give me a second. I'm going to go get the coffee. Okay, so I use a number 2 coffee filter. Just put it right into the dripper. I then grab, I like to put 2 scoops of French roast. I actually have a grinder, and I grind the coffee beans, but for display purposes today I'm just going to use pre-ground coffee. This is Starbucks French roast, which is what we like, but we usually get it in the bean form. So at this point I'll just turn on my digital scale so I know exactly how much water I'm pouring in here. It's zeroed out now. So I'm just going to take this off of the base and just turn it off and start pouring into the coffee grounds. So I just typically go in like a rotating circular motion when I make the pour over. Right now I've put in about 9 ounces. I'm going to put in like 11 and a half. And just kind of push down the sides so that all of the grains are engaged. So that's basically the process. The coffee will drip into the coffee cup, and when it's done, I'm good to go.